Je cherche un mec qui vient d'arriver. Riva.
Viva Viva.
His work is turning heads from Africa to the United States. With his role in Viva Riva, Hoji Fortuna has burst onto the acting scene. But coming from a modest background in Angola, a country torn apart by war for nearly 3 decades, Fortuna never expected his life would take this path.
What's the view of acting in Angola, which is where you're originally from?
Art in general is not really considered a profession over there. I think things are changing with globalization and all that. But the culture where I come from always goes in the sense that a guy has to take a more serious kind of professional approach. Or either you have to become a lawyer, or you have to become an engineer, or a doctor, or something like that. Becoming an artist, becoming a musician, or an actor wasn't really an option.
Shaken by the war and the loss of his mother when he was 19, Hoji fled Angola in 1994, ending up in Portugal.
Tell me, when did you first know that you wanted to be an actor?
It came very late. I wasn't aware that I wanted to be an actor for the longest time. I was in Portugal, and I think it was in 2000 or 1999 maybe, that I decided to kind of start doing or giving a couple of steps towards that direction. I did this amateur play in university in Coimbra in Portugal, and I liked the feeling. And after that I decided to give a couple of small steps, work with student projects in the university where I was, in Porto. And after that it came the opportunity to be in a television reality show, and at that time I decided that I wanted to go a little bit more professional with it, and that's when it all started.
So how old were you when you first got the taste?
I was 26, 27.
So it is late.
Like that. Yes, it is.
And what were you studying at university?
Law.
From law to
acting. It's not a big difference, actually.
Les gars est facile. Il aime sortir, la grande vie. On a un business avec lui. Et il y a un business pour toi.
How did you end up in the US?
Well, I met this beautiful woman.
Oh, it's always a woman.
Yes, there is. I met this beautiful woman in Lisbon, who later became my wife. She lived in New York.
Always enjoy good tea.
So I decided it was about time to move. If it wasn't the United States, it was going to be the UK. I just was looking for the right time to move. So love and, the career led me to New York.
It was in New York that he landed the role of a lifetime. Last year, a film called Viva Riva was shot in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the first movie produced there in over 20 years. For Fortuna, it meant the chance to become a star and return home to Africa for the first time since 1994.
And talk to me about what it was like for you, really at your core, to go back to the continent.
It was special. It was very, very, very special. I for the longest time I had issues about going back to Africa.
Why?
I had a lot of traumatic situations over there, a lot of traumatic experiences that somehow were one of the reasons why I left the continent in the first place. And it took me a long time to make peace with that and to finally feel ready to go back and to deal with all these emotions, to deal with all these memories. And by the time Viva Riva came, I was thinking about going back to the continent for some time already, and I was just looking for a good opportunity to do it, financially wise also. And Viva Riva was actually the opportunity to do that, and I'm grateful that it happened that way. I'm grateful that I felt that I was doing the right thing. I felt like this is what I wanted to do.
Let's talk about the film. It's set in the DRC.
Exactly.
It's been described as gritty. It's been described as real. How do you describe it?
Oh, it's visceral. It's a very strong film. It's a very strong. I think it's strong also because it captures the energy of the place where it was shot. Kinshasa is a very strong place. It's a place with a very high energy. There's a couple of great movies, great African movies this year out there. I think they will help people get different awareness of African filmmaking. I think we are actually doing history in here. We're breaking kind of the walls and allowing our films to be accessible to a wider audience. You know, the fact that the movie was picked and distributed in the United States and in most of countries in the world is already a result of that. So I think it can only bring good things for African cinema.
And for you personally, does this factor in? Is this one of the highlights of your career to date? I mean,
well, I would say that this film is definitely the most important part of my career right now, the higher point, because it is the first time that I actually perform a major role in a film. And that was one of the reasons that inspired me to embrace this project. It brought kind of awareness about my work as an actor to the world. You know, I've been published in very prestigious magazines.
Oscar.
I won an African Oscar with that, which was a great recognition for my work. You know, it's been amazing.
And that's the Oscar behind you, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, that is. That's my gorgeous African woman.
What does that mean to you? What does that award mean to you?
It's a recognition. It's a statue, but it's also a statue that somehow encloses something that it's bigger than just its material shape. It's a recognition that comes from the continent where I come from, which to me means a great deal.